You're not broke because life is unfair. You're broke because you made peace with mediocrity. Being broke is a choice. I don't care what your mommy told you. I don't care what your broke friends say. You've accepted the lie that your circumstances are permanent. You've bought into the soft, pathetic narrative that some men win and some men lose and that you're just unlucky. But here's the truth no one has the balls to tell you. You chose this. Every excuse you've ever made, every hour you've wasted, you cast a vote for the broke man you see in the mirror. No one made you weak. You trained yourself to be that way. And you can train yourself out of it. You either conquer the world or you submit to it. There is no third option. You either get rich or stay a slave. Let me be crystal clear. Most men will stay broke because they love the comfort that comes with weakness. They love excuses and the victim mentality. Because being a victim means you don't have to act. You get to sit there marinating in your misery saying, it's not my fault. They also love to say money isn't everything. Broke people say that. It's the anthem of the lazy, the uninspired, the ones who would rather justify failure than fix it. Money doesn't buy happiness? You're right. It buys freedom. It buys options. It buys the ability to walk into any room and not ask for permission. And when you don't have it, you're a slave. You trade your time, your energy, your entire life just to scrape by while pretending you're okay. You're not okay. You're lying to yourself. And until you face that, nothing changes. You weren't born to be poor. You were born to conquer. But somewhere along the way, they tamed you. They told you to get a job, play it safe, wait your turn, and you listened. You became obedient, you stopped hunting, you started surviving, and now you wonder why you feel empty. It's because you gave up your birthright. You were built for war, and now you're sitting in the trenches asking for peace. You don't need peace. You need purpose. You need fire. You need to suffer again, to earn again, because a man who hasn't suffered hasn't earned his place. You keep saying you're trying, but you're not. Trying is a lie you tell yourself to avoid the pain of admitting you're failing. There is no trying. There's doing or not doing, winning or losing. And if you're not winning, you're losing. If you're not rich, you're poor. If you're not building, you're decaying. That's the truth. Harsh, good. Let it sting. Let it burn through every excuse you've ever made. Because pain is the only thing that wakes men up from the coma of comfort. You wake up broke, scroll Instagram, see a man with a Ferrari, a penthouse, a beautiful girl, and your first thought is, must be nice. No, bro, it's not nice. It's discipline, it's war, it's sacrifice. That man bled for that car. He skipped parties, he lost friends, he outworked everyone. While you were sleeping, he was building. While you were playing video games, he was building. While you were crying about how hard life is, he was conquering it. You envy his life, but would you endure his struggle? No, because you're soft. And softness is why you're broke. That's exactly how the system wants it. They want you afraid. They want you average. They want you broke. They want to keep men scared, stuck, and just comfortable enough not to fight back. Because a broke man doesn't rebel. He bites his tongue at work, nods along when he disagrees, and keeps quiet even when he knows something's wrong because he's afraid of losing the little he has. He's not planning his next move. He's waiting for someone to hand it to him, waiting for a raise that never comes, waiting for someone to tell him it's his turn. But here's the truth. When a man is broke, he's not free. A broke man doesn't ask questions. A broke man doesn't lead, he waits. Waits for approval, waits for permission. You want to know why I despise being broke? Because it's slavery. That's not living. That's surviving with your head down, hoping the world doesn't hit you too hard. And the worst part, most men accept it. They don't even realize they've been trained to stay small. And every time you swipe your debit card and pray it doesn't decline, that's the world slapping you in the face saying you're a nobody. I don't care about your sob story. I've heard them all. Deadbeat dad, tough neighborhood, no mentors. Great. That's fuel. That's your edge. That's your story to dominate with. You think the top 1% had it easy? No. They just stopped complaining and started executing. The difference between you and them is not luck. It's standards. You've set the bar so low, even failure pats you on the back. You congratulate yourself for surviving another day instead of demanding more out of it. You settle for crumbs when you were born to feast. There's a strange safety in being broke. No one expects anything. No pressure to win, no spotlight, no risk of failure. That's why most people stay there, because comfort hides in the excuses. And there's always someone to point the finger at. The economy, childhood, bad luck. Anything to avoid looking in the mirror. But every time a man shifts the blame, he gives up control. He tells himself he's powerless, like life just happens to him. And that belief, that lie, is what keeps him stuck. The moment a man finally stops making excuses and admits that his choices built the life he hates, everything starts to shift. The second you take responsibility, your entire life changes. Not slowly, instantly. Because now the enemy has a face, and it's you. The enemy was never the outside world. It was always the weaker version of yourself you kept protecting. You don't need motivation. You need a standard. You need to look at your bank account and feel disgusted. You need to feel the fire in your chest when your card declines. That embarrassment, that's fuel. That's the signal. That's the universe screaming, get up and change. But what do? You numb it. You eat junk. You scroll. You watch porn. You pretend you're not dying inside. You chase comfort while your dreams rot in the attic of your own potential. Let me tell you something. There is no such thing as work-life balance when you're broke. You don't get to relax, the luxury of me time or long weekends. You haven't earned them. Your job is to grind until grinding becomes effortless. Until wealth isn't a goal, it's a side effect of who you've become. You need to turn your entire existence into a mission. Eat, sleep, train, build, no distractions. The days start early and they don't end until something has been built. You get no breaks because you're behind, and every day you delay, another man sharpens his sword, and he will take what could have been yours. You say you want freedom, then act like it. Freedom costs. It costs your comfort. It costs your habits. It costs your relationships. Some of the people closest to you are anchors. They love the broke version of you because he's safe, predictable, not a threat. But the moment you start rising, watch how they squirm. They'll call you arrogant, obsessed. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You have changed. You're not broke anymore. You're not weak anymore. You're not one of them anymore. You were born to lead, to command, to dominate, but you walk through life like a stray dog hoping someone throws you a bone. Women don't respect you. Your boss doesn't fear you. Your friends don't admire you. Because deep down, they see what you refuse to confront. You're wasting your potential. You've got everything it takes to be great, except the balls to act like it. And that's the tragedy. Not that you're broke, but that you're okay with it. Being broke is a choice because changing that condition has always been available. It never required a miracle, just a man willing to become undeniable. A man willing to bury the old version of himself and build a new one with sharper edges, colder logic, and unbreakable focus. That man isn't emotional, he's strategic. He doesn't wait to feel like working. He makes work his default. And when the world sees what he's built, they don't ask about his struggle, they marvel at his results. Success isn't about money, it's about power. Power over your schedule, power over your environment, power over your emotions, power over yourself. And the path to that kind of power? Ruthless self-discipline. Wake up before the sun, train until it hurts, work until your brain aches. Read, build, sell, learn, make every hour count. And when it gets hard, good. That means you're doing it right. Weakness will beg for rest. Strength will beg for more. There will come a day where you can't afford to lose anymore, where you look around and realize the world moved on and you got left behind. The girls you wanted are gone. The life you dreamed of is out of reach. The mirror becomes your enemy. And you'll sit there, broke, bitter, broken, realizing you could have done more. But by then, it's too late. Regret is the tax you pay for excuses, and it's the most expensive currency on earth. So let the excuses die. Let the comfort die. Let the soft version fade into the shadow where he belongs. Start that business. Learn that skill. Cut that distraction. Get uncomfortable. Embrace pain. Run toward the fire, because every time you choose discomfort over ease, you become dangerous. And a dangerous man is never broke. He's never desperate. He never begs. He builds. He leads. He commands reality. The man who refuses to be broke again doesn't need permission. He doesn't need validation. He only needs his mission. And once that mission is alive, there's no stopping him. Not because he's lucky, but because he made the choice. You were never meant to survive. You were meant to dominate. So burn the excuses, kill the victim inside, resurrect the warrior, and make this promise to yourself: I will never be broke again, not because I hate poverty, but because I love who I must become to escape it. That man, he's unstoppable.